Hey, what's up everybody? This is John from DroidDog.com, and I was awoken this morning by the FedEx lady with a package for me from Sony Ericsson. And that could only mean one thing, right? Let's get to it. I've been really anxious to get this X10 in my hands because at CES, the people out on the floor were given test units running Android 1.6, and everybody seemed to be pretty happy with the responsiveness of the screen. Me and Noah from Phone Dog were in a private meeting where we used some X10s that were running Android 1.5, and I thought the responsiveness was a little bit strange. So maybe we'll get a better idea here of what the final product is. So it looks like I have sensuous black here. The phone also comes in luster white. Should I give you a better look at the top there? There's not a whole lot going on here. Phone, get to that in a second. Alright, so we have the 3.5mm audio jack. Looks like we got a couple things in there. I'm going to go ahead and break this open. So there's the headset. Cool little green Sony Ericsson logo on the side. And just an extension. Is this short or what? USB to micro USB data and charging cable, and the USB to AC adapter. User's guide, Spanish, and all the other important information, and a little how to get the battery into the phone. So let me set all of this aside. I don't know if we're going to have much of a charge here. I felt a little buzz there when I pressed the on button. Very, very slick looking device. 8.1 megapixel camera with autofocus and touch focus. Also a flash there. This is a 4-inch 480 by 854 pixel screen. It's a cool little Nexus user experience unlock screen. And of course, one of the things that make this phone so special, aside from the 1 GHz Snapdragon, gig of internal storage with 384 megabytes of RAM, is the Nexus user experience. I'm not sure if they're still using that name after Google released the Nexus 1. But this is the one that we used to know as Rachel, and it uses Timescape and Mediascape, which give you an ultra slick interface for looking through social streams and your media. So as you can see, it's still the Android settings, the way they're laid out, but you have this blue background transparencies. And as you can see, we're on firmware 1.6 there. I can tell you right now that the screen is much more responsive than the early prototype that I had tested in Vegas. And it looks really, really nice. Very bright, vibrant screen. And that blue just really pops out at you. There we are in landscape with the keyboard, which looks pretty slick. Let's just do a quick typing test here. So, a couple of typos there, but pretty good for my first sentence on the phone. Alright, so I signed into Twitter and Facebook there. I also set up my Wi-Fi. It took me probably a dozen attempts to log into Facebook because it said I kept getting the password incorrect. So I suppose it just takes some time to adjust to that keyboard. I tried going slowly, but you know, I guess all keyboards are like that. As you can see, you still have the same Android notification bar, albeit themed dark blue, which looks really slick. And you know, I was so excited to get to the interface and to see how the screen felt when I opened the phone. I didn't really go over the hardware, so let's take a look at that real quick. You've got your volume rocker on the right side there, which you know, generally usually find it on the left, so that's interesting. Dedicated camera button, Nice curves around the edges there. Very slick looking phone. 8.1 megapixel camera with autofocus, touch focus, flash. And you have a 3.5mm audio jack. And then you have this little snap-in piece of plastic covering the USB. I have very short fingernails. Am I pulling on that? There we go. So there's that little protective thing with a sort of rubbery strap connecting it to the phone, so it doesn't look like you're going to have to worry about losing that. And the power button. It uses micro SD cards. It can handle up to 16 gigs. Comes with an 8 GB card. You've got these 3 hardware buttons at the bottom here. This is menu, which isn't working on this particular screen. Home button and back button. Application drawer. Notification window. This is a TFT capacitive touchscreen with 65,000 colors. It's 480 by 854 and 4 inches. And here it is next to the Nexus One for comparison. Obviously the screen is just a little bit bigger. The rounded edges of the Nexus One make the phone look smaller, but compared side by side you can see here that the dimensions are pretty similar. About the same height. And I think about the same thickness. And in order to accommodate that bigger screen, you can see the X10 is a little bit wider. So you've got 3 screens. As you can see, there's a nifty little transparent widget here for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, which is assisted, and muting, turning on vibration. You've got your Google search up there. And you cannot go into landscape on the home screen there. That's dependent on each individual app. And I'm going to set up a timescape widget here. Here is my Twitter stream. As you can see, the icon is at an angle on these cards, these plates that you flick through. It's transparent. You get a little preview of each tweet. And there I was just looking at East D individually. Not at the tweet though. This is my first time really testing this out. So you see the complete tweet when you tap it there. Let's hit the infinite button and see what happens. Add to your contacts. So down here you can switch between which network or I should say source you're looking at, because it looks like there's calls and everything in there as well. Facebook, Twitter, music, images, and there's nothing in there for a sample. Email, SMS, which I don't have any on this phone just yet. Call history, missed calls that is. So that's pretty handy. I like that a lot. Quick look at the apps here. You'll notice quite a few from Moxier. Moxier Contacts, Moxier Mail for Exchange Sync, Moxier Sync, and Moxier Tasks, Moxier Calendar. And there's the dialer. Pretty sexy. Call log, contacts, favorites. Let me synchronize my contacts from Google. And I am already noticing a couple of things about the keyboard, both that I like and do not like, but I'll cover that later on, after I've had some time to adapt to it. Go ahead and sync my calendar, sync my contacts. And as you can see, I'm just getting carried away now with setting this phone up, which is a good sign that it's sucking me into the experience and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. So I'll be posting more very soon, reviews on different aspects of the phone. Go ahead and send me some of your questions so we can do one of these question and request videos, at least one that is. You can get me on Twitter at phonedog_John, or you can text me at 503-MOB-BARK. That's for text messages only. Nobody's going to be answering the phone or checking voicemails. So let me know, what would you like to know about the Sony Ericsson XPERIA X10? Alright, thanks for watching everybody. Stay tuned to DroidDog.com. Take care.